Well, I'm kind of at a disadvantage for two reasons. One, because I'm the last person on this program, and I'm following giants like the Honorable Robert Morgenthau, Tom Bernstein, New York Life, and Cy Sternberg on behalf of New York Life, and my chairman. One of the great pleasures of my tenure at the Apollo has been to work very closely with Dick and witness firsthand his problem-solving skills that make him the great executive and public servant that he is. And it's been real. And one of the things that I guess you've just witnessed is what gets us through a lot of what we've been doing up at the Apollo is his amazing sense of humor. So anyway, I'm deeply honored to be presented tonight with the Louis Rudin Award, an honor that is named for a man and a family that has done so much for our great city. As I was growing up, I was very much aware of the Association for a Better New York and those ubiquitous gold lapel pins. So this is, as I said, a really, really amazing honor for me. Since 1948 nationally, and as you've heard, 1982 in New York City, thanks to the efforts of my friend Meredith Brokaw and most recently Jonathan Plutzik, a good friend, Coro has been training men and women of all ages about that special intersection between leadership and change. Without enlightened leadership, change is nothing more than simply something different, not necessarily something good. Coro fosters enlightened civic leadership by teaching how things work from the inside and how an understanding of various perspectives on a problem can vastly improve the choice and the solution that is ultimately made. Nowhere is there a greater need for Coro, and at a time when we really need to be focusing on our young people who are still shaping their perspective of what the world is and what role they can play in it. For a third year, I had the pleasure of hosting the Coro Fellows for breakfast at the Apollo, many of whom are here tonight, I think in that corner over there. They're an impressive bunch, as always, you know, diverse personalities and, you know, interests, but all coming together to be enlightened. They're totally comfortable, as Cy said, with asking the hard questions, and as always, they provoke a lot of thought on my part. My husband, Fred Terrell, a former Coro Fellow, love those Coro Fellows, has always described Coro training as a way to turn on the light for young people who are not aware of the important role that they can play in our society. If we are lucky, many of the women and men who are here tonight and who are going through the Coro plan will be our leaders of tomorrow. And I think that you know, we all went through a very interesting election process, and we really understand the importance of good leadership. For nearly 6 years, it has been my privilege to be the president and CEO of the Apollo Theater. This year, we are celebrating our 75th anniversary. So since 1934, Since 1934, the Apollo has been the epicenter of American culture, and it is a driving force in shaping Americans' musical and cultural landscape. But the Apollo's much more than that. I think cultural institutions can play a very significant role in bridging the divide between disparate groups by attracting diverse audiences, thereby being in a position to influence, to affect change, positive change. As a cornerstone of Harlem and as one of Harlem's most distinguished and enduring community resources, the Apollo is committed to enhancing the life of the community and continuing to be a beacon of excellence. I believe it is the responsibility of institutions to make a positive impact on the communities in which they reside. I strongly believe that leadership can take many forms, and it has been my goal to increase the Apollo's leadership in its community and in this city. The Apollo's board and I have been working on many initiatives to increase the roles that the Apollo can play in the lives of our citizens, and especially our young people, through a variety of programs designed to engage children, adults, schools, families, artists, and community-based organizations. The Apollo's education and community activities build on the theater's rich history as a cultural and economic anchor in Harlem. In addition to our work in education, I firmly believe in the Apollo's role as a community catalyst and gathering place. I believe we should be a forum for discussion. That's why time and again we have opened our doors to presidential and mayoral debates, town hall meetings, and other events of significance to the greater community. In the fall, we are going to be the site of 2 of the mayoral debates. Last fall, through a collaboration with Time Warner Cable, the Apollo opened its doors to broadcast 2 of the presidential debates. Panel discussions were held prior to the debates to discuss the important issues that we knew were going to be a focus of the debate. In January, we opened the doors for the inauguration. These are just a few examples of how the Apollo seeks to engage its community and how to exercise our brand of leadership. So in conclusion, I'd like to say the Apollo is deeply committed to serving and engaging our community, to raising the next generation of civic leaders, and to provide an important forum in Harlem for civic participation. Thank you.